As dawn breaks over the Serengeti Mara, the land is bathed in a gentle golden light, revealing a sprawling wilderness that has remained unchanged for millennia. The first rays of sunlight glint off dew-laden grasses, where beetles and ants begin their tireless work, each movement a testament to the intricate web of life that thrives here. The air vibrates with the calls of hornbills and the distant drumming of ground-dwelling birds, signalling the start of another day in this unforgiving realm. The Serengeti's horizon stretches beyond sight, a boundless expanse where every living thing must carve out its existence. Termites engineer towering mounds, their colonies hidden beneath the earth, while lines of ants march with unwavering discipline, each carrying fragments of leaf and seed back to their underground fortresses. Above ground, the grasslands ripple with the movement of unseen creatures, each one playing a vital role in the ecosystem's delicate balance. Named by the Maasai as the Endless Plains, this region is alive with constant motion. Wildebeest graze in vast herds, their calves press close to their mothers for protection. Zebra foals, striped and alert, shadow their elders, learning to recognize the subtle signals of danger that can mean the difference between life and death. The rhythm of survival here is dictated by the rains. Under the relentless sun, the earth cracks and hardens, roots burrowing deep in search of moisture. When thunderheads gather and the first drops fall, the transformation is immediate. Parched soil softens, and emerald shoots burst forth, blanketing the plains in new life within hours. As the sun climbs, animals emerge from the shadows. Elephants, matriarchs leading their families, use their trunks to unearth hidden water beneath the dry riverbeds. Warthogs kneel on calloused forelegs, rooting for bulbs and tubers, while antelope graze with heads high, ever watchful for the slightest movement in the grass. In the tall grass, predators move with silent intent. A cheetah, muscles coiled and tail flicking, fixes its gaze on a distant gazelle, calculating every step. The gazelle, sensing the tension in the air, joins its companions in a tight cluster, their ears swiveling to catch the faintest sound of danger. The migration is a spectacle of movement and instinct. Wildebeest calves, only hours old, stumble to their feet and begin to run, their survival dependent on speed and stamina. Zebras, ever social, nip and chase each other, reinforcing bonds that will help them navigate the perils ahead. Giraffes glide between acacia trees, their long necks reaching for tender leaves protected by thorns. Elephants, mindful of the midday heat, cluster together, mothers positioning themselves to shade their calves from the relentless sun, their skin caked with dust to ward off biting insects. In the shadows, predators wait. The amber eyes of lions and leopards peer through the grass, their bodies perfectly still, blending with the landscape. Hyenas, ever opportunistic, listen for distress calls, their acute hearing tuned to the faintest sign of vulnerability. Each predator has honed its craft over generations. Lions coordinate with silent signals, encircling their prey. Leopards, solitary and powerful, drag their kills into the safety of trees, away from scavengers. Cheetahs, built for speed, collapse in exhaustion after a chase, their bodies trembling from the effort. Hyenas, relentless and social, use endurance and teamwork to wear down their quarry. The weak and injured are quickly exposed. A limping antelope is separated from the herd, pursued relentlessly by predators. Overhead, vultures spiral in anticipation, while jackals linger at the periphery, ready to seize any opportunity left by the larger hunters. With the arrival of the rains, the plains are reborn. Brown turns to green as grasses surge upward and herds shift their course to follow the freshest pastures. Frogs, dormant for months, emerge to chorus in temporary pools, while clouds of insects fill the humid air, drawing flocks of birds and lizards eager for the bounty. Driven by instinct, animals form long columns, trekking toward distant storm clouds that promise new grazing grounds. At swollen rivers, crocodiles lie in wait, their eyes barely visible above the muddy water, poised to strike as the herds plunge into the current. The migration is the lifeblood of the Serengeti, weaving together distant corners of the ecosystem. Dust billows from the pounding hooves of wildebeest and zebra, while flocks of storks and kites soar above, tracking the herds and feasting on insects disturbed by their passage. When predator and prey collide, the outcome is swift and brutal. Lionesses burst from cover, targeting the weakest members of the herd. In response, wildebeest form defensive circles, their horns bristling outward, calves shielded at the centre as chaos erupts around them. The Serengeti is never silent. The air thrums with the calls of weaver birds, the whir of cicadas, and the distant roar of lions. Yet, in the moments before a hunt, a tense hush falls. Impalas freeze, their ears rotating independently, muscles taut, ready to explode into motion at the slightest hint of danger. Beauty and peril coexist in every corner. The landscape dazzles with wildflowers and golden grass, yet beneath this splendour, danger is ever present. Chameleons blend seamlessly with leaves, their eyes moving independently as they hunt for insects. Snakes glide silently through the undergrowth, their scales catching the light as they search for unsuspecting prey. The plains are a living canvas, constantly redrawn by the movement of millions. Herds churn up dust as they travel, their paths etched into the earth. In the mud, a tapestry of tracks reveals the stories of the night, hoofprints of antelope, pawprints of lions, and the delicate imprints of birds and rodents. Every species, no matter its size, is woven into the fabric of survival. Dwarf mongooses band together to drive off snakes, their coordinated attacks protecting vulnerable pups. Oxpeckers perch atop buffalo, plucking ticks and warning of approaching predators, forging symbiotic alliances that benefit both. Endurance is the key to survival. Lions, gaunt from days without food, press on through injury and exhaustion. Buffalo form living barricades, their massive bodies shielding calves from prowling lions and hyenas, their unity a formidable defence against the ever-present threat of predation. Life and death are inseparable here. A successful hunt feeds not only the predator, but a host of scavengers, hyenas, jackals and vultures, each stripping the remains until only bones are left. Nothing is wasted. Every scrap is recycled into the cycle of life that sustains the wild heart of the Serengeti. The Great Migration is nature's most spectacular journey, an epic odyssey across the endless Serengeti plains, where survival hangs in the balance with every step. Each year, the landscape transforms into a living river of animals, their bodies weaving intricate patterns across the earth, driven by ancient instincts and the promise of life-giving rain. Nearly 2,000 kilometres are covered each year, as immense herds wind their way across the savannah in a relentless search for sustenance. The ground trembles beneath their hooves, dust rising in shimmering clouds that blur the horizon, while the sun beats down on their backs. Over 1 million wildebeest, joined by hundreds of thousands of zebras and agile Thompson's gazelles, move together, following the life-giving rains that paint the plains green. The herds are a tapestry of movement, each animal attuned to the subtle cues of weather and the shifting winds. When the grass is grazed to stubble, the herds press onward, journeying from Tanzania's southern Serengeti to Kenya's Masai Mara and back again, crossing invisible borders in their ancient circuit. The migration is a ceaseless cycle, dictated by the rhythm of the seasons and the ever-present need for food and water. The migration is a grueling test of endurance. Columns of animals stretch for miles, braving searing heat, swirling dust and exhaustion. Each step forward is a battle against fatigue, the relentless sun, and the ever-present threat of predators lurking in the tall grass. Zebras lead the way, their sharp vision and memory guiding the herds to safer paths, grazing on the toughest grasses and alerting others to lurking threats. Their distinctive stripes ripple through the mass, a visual signal that confuses predators and strengthens the herd's unity. Wildebeest follow, relying on their acute sense of smell to find the tender shoots left behind, a partnership that maximizes every blade of grass and strengthens their collective defense. Together, these species form a living shield, each benefiting from the other's unique strengths. The journey begins with synchronized calving on the southern plains. Hundreds of thousands of calves are born within weeks, their mothers urging them to their feet moments after birth. The air is filled with the calls of newborns, each one vulnerable yet vital to the future of the herd. This sudden abundance overwhelms predators. Lions, hyenas and cheetahs, giving more young a fleeting chance to survive the gauntlet. The sheer number of calves dilutes the risk, as predators struggle to single out the weak amid the swirling mass. Calves must stand and run within minutes, instinctively merging into the herd's protective numbers, where safety lies in unity and movement. Only the swift and the strong endure, as the slow are quickly left behind. As the dry season nears, the scent of distant rain and the rumble of thunder call the herds northward, triggering the next phase of their migration. The animals sense the subtle shift in the air, their instincts guiding them toward the promise of fresh grazing and water. The trek is perilous. Open plains expose them to prowling predators, while swollen rivers hide crocodiles beneath the surface, and the threat of hunger and thirst is ever present. Every crossing is a gamble, where hesitation can mean death and courage is the only currency. The migration is more than a journey. It's a cycle of birth, predation and renewal, where every moment is a struggle between life and death. Vultures circle above, ever watchful for the fallen as the relentless march continues. Every step is a fight for survival. Herds bunch together, stampeding in panic or standing firm to repel attackers. The unity of the group is their greatest defense, a living fortress against the dangers that stalk the plains. The movement of the herds sculpts the land itself. Grazing patterns renew the grasslands, shaping the fate of every creature that calls the Serengeti home. As they pass, the earth is revitalized, new life springing up in their wake. This pilgrimage has defined the Serengeti for millennia, etching invisible highways across the plains, followed by countless generations. The land bears the marks of their passage, ancient trails intersecting in a living map of survival. It is the ultimate test of nature's will to live, a relentless, breathtaking saga of endurance, adaptation and hope. Through storm and drought, predator and peril, the herds press on, their journey a testament to the raw, untamed spirit of the Serengeti. The Mara River crossing is the migration's most formidable ordeal, a crucible where the fate of thousands is decided in moments of chaos and courage. At the river's edge, the air vibrates with tension. Wildebeest crowd together, their bodies pressed tight, nostrils flaring as they sense the danger lurking beneath the muddy surface. The river, swollen by recent rains, churns with hidden currents and the promise of peril. The herd hesitates, hooves digging into the soft earth. Suddenly, a single wildebeest breaks from the mass, launching itself into the swirling water. The spell is broken, instinct takes over, and the herd surges forward, a living torrent pouring into the river's embrace. Beneath the surface, Nile crocodiles, silent and ancient, wait with predatory patience. Their eyes barely break the waterline, tracking the chaos above. When the moment is right, they explode upward, jaws agape, targeting the weakest or most isolated in the frenzy. The river becomes a maelstrom of bodies and spray. Wildebeest kick and thrash, fighting the relentless current. Some scramble over submerged rocks, while others are swept off their feet, their desperate cries drowned by the roar of water and hooves. The current claims its victims without mercy. Calves and adults alike are pulled under, their bodies tumbling downstream. Some resurface gasping for air, while others vanish, claimed by the river's depths or the jaws of waiting predators. On the far bank, the drama intensifies. Lion prides lie in ambush, their tawny bodies blending with the tall grass. They watch the exhausted wildebeest emerge, muscles coiled, ready to strike at the first sign of weakness. The weakest and most disoriented are quickly singled out. Lions burst from cover, using the confusion and panic to isolate their prey. The chase is swift and brutal, ending in a flurry of dust and desperate kicks. For the predators, the crossing is a banquet. Crocodiles drag their catch beneath the surface, twisting and rolling to tear flesh from bone. On land, lions and hyenas converge, their snarls echoing as they compete for the spoils. Yet the migration presses on, undeterred by the carnage. Driven by hunger and the promise of green pastures, new waves of wildebeest approach the river, their numbers undiminished by the losses of those before. Survivors emerge onto the far bank, trembling and soaked, but alive. They scatter across the plains, lowering their heads to graze on the fresh, vibrant grass that drew them here, a brief reward for their ordeal. Along the riverbank, the aftermath unfolds. Crocodiles feast in the shallows, their powerful jaws snapping bones. Overhead, vultures spiral down, their wings casting shadows as they pick clean the remains left by larger predators. The crossing leaves its mark on the landscape. The river's edge is littered with the evidence of struggle, trampled mud, scattered bones, and the ever-present tension between life and death. Each wildebeest faces the crossing with wide, fearful eyes, muscles taut with adrenaline. Their survival depends on split-second decisions and the unpredictable movements of the herd. The Mara River itself is a force of nature, its winding course carving a boundary between life and death, its waters both a barrier and a lifeline for the creatures of the Serengeti. On either side of the river, predator and prey are locked in a perpetual contest. Each crossing brings new strategies. Lions shift their ambush points, crocodiles adjust their positions, and wildebeest learn from the chaos. In this wild theatre, every second is a test of instinct and resilience. The Mara crossing is not just a passage. It is a relentless trial, shaping the destiny of every creature that braves its waters. In the vast expanse of the Serengeti, predators are more than mere hunters. They are the architects of survival, each species having honed unique tactics through generations of adaptation. Their existence is a testament to the relentless demands of this wild domain, where only the most ingenious and resilient thrive. Lions, the Serengeti's only truly social felines, orchestrate their hunts with remarkable precision. Lionesses, the pride's primary hunters, move in silence, their bodies pressed low against the earth. They communicate through subtle gestures, a flick of the tail, a twitch of the ear, signalling when to advance or hold. As they fan out, some circle wide, anticipating the herd's escape routes, while others remain motionless, hidden by the swaying grass, poised to spring the ambush at the perfect moment. Hyenas, often underestimated, are among the most resourceful predators of the plains. Their matriarchal clans operate with relentless determination, led by dominant females who guide the group's movements. During a hunt, hyenas rely on stamina, pursuing prey over great distances. They work together to isolate the weakest individuals, encircling them with calculated precision, their haunting calls echoing across the savannah as they close in. The hyena's formidable jaws are capable of shattering bone, allowing them to access marrow and nutrients unavailable to most other predators. Even the youngest cubs are quick to learn, mimicking adults as they gnaw and tear, ensuring that nothing is wasted. This efficiency is vital, as every scrap of food can mean the difference between survival and starvation. Cheetahs, the undisputed speedsters of the animal kingdom, embody grace and explosive power. Solitary by nature, they rely on acute vision to spot movement from afar, often climbing termite mounds for a better vantage. Every muscle is primed for action as they select their target, calculating the distance and angle before launching into a breathtaking sprint that leaves dust swirling in their wake. Yet this incredible burst of speed comes at a steep price. The chase drains the cheetah's energy reserves, leaving it vulnerable and exposed. As it catches its breath, the cheetah must remain alert. Scavengers like hyenas and lions are quick to seize any opportunity, often forcing the cheetah to abandon its hard-won meal. Leopards, the embodiment of stealth, move like shadows through the undergrowth. Their solitary existence demands patience and cunning. With each step, they blend seamlessly into the dappled light, waiting for dusk to cloak their movements. When the moment is right, they strike with astonishing speed, jaws closing around their prey in a silent, lethal embrace. To safeguard their catch, leopards display remarkable strength, hoisting prey many times their own weight into the safety of the treetops. Here they can feed undisturbed, out of reach from ground-bound rivals. This arboreal strategy is a masterstroke of survival, ensuring that their efforts are not in vain. Each predator's approach is a finely tuned response to the challenges of the Serengeti. Lions rely on unity and strength, hyenas on persistence and cooperation, cheetahs on speed and timing, and leopards on stealth and solitude. Their interactions create a complex tapestry of competition, where every move is dictated by necessity and instinct. The prey, too, are not passive participants. Wildebeest and zebra gather in vast herds, their sheer numbers providing a living shield. Gazelles remain ever vigilant, their large eyes and sensitive ears tuned to the slightest hint of danger. Impalas, agile and alert, bunch together, ready to scatter in a burst of unpredictable motion at the first sign of a threat. Every encounter is a test of reflexes and resolve. The chase unfolds in a blur of motion. Predators lunging, prey twisting and leaping, dust clouds billowing as the herd erupts in panic. In these moments, survival hinges on split-second decisions and the ability to read the intentions of both hunter and hunted. Adaptation is a lifelong process. Young predators hone their skills through play and observation, mimicking the adults as they stalk, chase and pounce. Prey animals, too, learn from experience. Gazelle fawns practice evasive maneuvers, while elders teach the importance of constant vigilance. These lessons are vital, for the margin between life and death is razor thin. Even in moments of rest, the tension never fully dissipates. Predators remain alert, ears swiveling to catch distant sounds, eyes scanning for rivals or opportunities. The bonds within prides and clans are reinforced through grooming and play, while solitary hunters find solace in the quiet of the trees or the open plains. The presence of predators is essential to the Serengeti's health. By culling the weak and the sick, they prevent overgrazing and disease, allowing the grasslands to flourish. Scavengers, from vultures to jackals, play their part in recycling nutrients, ensuring that nothing is wasted and the cycle of life continues unbroken. As dawn breaks and the sun sets, the Serengeti pulses with anticipation. Every day brings new challenges, new opportunities, and new stories of survival. Here, mastery of the hunt and the ability to adapt are not just advantages, they are the very essence of life, shaping the destiny of every creature beneath the endless African sky. Across the endless Serengeti, every moment is a test of survival. Prey animals have developed an astonishing range of tactics, each finely tuned to the dangers that lurk in the grasslands and woodlands. Herding is a fundamental defense. By moving in vast, synchronized groups, wildebeest and zebras create a living shield, making it nearly impossible for predators to isolate a single target. The thunder of hooves and shifting patterns of movement disorient even the most experienced hunters. For many, speed is the ultimate weapon. Thompson's gazelles explode into motion, zigzagging with breathtaking agility, while impalas leap in graceful arcs, their powerful legs propelling them clear of danger. Each burst of energy is a calculated gamble: outrun the predator or become its next meal. Camouflage is another line of defense. The bold stripes of zebras, when seen in motion, merge into a dazzling blur, confusing the eyes of stalking lions and hyenas. This optical illusion disrupts a predator's focus, buying precious seconds for escape. Some antelope species rely on invisibility. Reedbuck and steenbok freeze in place, their coats perfectly matching the dry grass and scattered shadows. By remaining utterly still, they vanish from sight, evading even the sharpest-eyed hunters. For the formidable Cape buffalo, unity is strength. When danger approaches, the herd forms an impenetrable barrier, adults facing outward, horns ready. Calves are shielded at the centre, while the outer ring stands prepared to charge as one, deterring even the boldest predators. Elephants, the giants of the Serengeti, depend on their immense size and deep family bonds. The matriarch leads with experience, guiding the herd through perilous terrain. Adults flank the youngest, forming a living fortress as they traverse the open plains. When threatened, elephants close ranks, creating a formidable wall of flesh and ivory. Their coordinated defense is unwavering. Any predator daring to approach is met with a united, unbreakable front. Adaptation to the landscape is key for others. Ostriches flatten themselves against the earth, their feathers blending with the grass. Warthogs dart into underground burrows at the first sign of trouble, while servals move with silent precision, their spotted coats breaking up their outline among the shadows. Mixed herds offer a unique advantage. Wildebeest, zebras and gazelles combine their strengths, keen vision, acute hearing and sheer speed, creating a network of shared vigilance. Each species benefits from the other's senses, multiplying their chances of survival. The ever-present threat of predators shapes every behavior. Lions stalk through the grass, cheetahs wait in ambush, and hyenas patrol the edges. Prey animals remain on constant alert, their senses finely attuned to the faintest hint of danger. Vigilance is a way of life. Herds scan the horizon, ears twitching, eyes wide, nostrils flaring for unfamiliar scents. At the slightest disturbance, the entire group reacts instantly, ready to flee or defend. In this untamed wilderness, survival is never guaranteed. Every day is a contest of adaptation and instinct, where only the most resourceful and resilient endure. The Serengeti's inhabitants are locked in a perpetual struggle, each using every tool nature has given them to stay alive. In the vast expanse of the Serengeti, every heartbeat is a testament to survival. Here, adaptation is not just a trait, it is a necessity, shaping the destinies of all who roam these ancient plains. Each animal, from the largest elephant to the tiniest insect, is locked in a perpetual struggle, relying on instinct, memory, and the wisdom of generations past. The matriarch of an elephant herd leads with unwavering resolve, her memory a living map of the land. She guides her family across sun-baked earth, recalling the precise locations of hidden waterholes, lifelines that have sustained her ancestors through countless droughts. As the herd drinks, the matriarch stands watchful, her presence a shield against lurking threats. In the tall grasses, antelope mothers employ remarkable strategies to protect their young. Calves, born nearly scentless, are carefully concealed in dense cover. Some mothers move their offspring under the cover of dawn and dusk, minimizing exposure. When danger nears, a mother may feign injury, drawing predators away with a convincing display of vulnerability, only to spring away at the last moment. Within the lion pride, learning is a constant process. Cubs observe every movement of the adults, absorbing the nuances of stalking and ambush. Playful chases and mock hunts among siblings are more than games. They are rigorous training sessions, sharpening reflexes and building the teamwork essential for future hunts. Across the plains, knowledge is passed down in subtle ways. A lioness grooms her cubs, reinforcing bonds and teaching patience. Cheetah mothers demonstrate the art of stealth, crouching low and moving silently through the grass, while elephant calves are kept at the heart of the herd, shielded by a living wall of adults. Even the smallest inhabitants display extraordinary tactics. Banded mongooses facing a venomous snake unite in a coordinated assault, their numbers overwhelming the predator. Baboons, meanwhile, form intricate grooming networks, reducing tension and forging alliances that can mean the difference between life and death during conflicts. Social bonds are the invisible armour of the Serengeti. Elephants intertwine their trunks, reaffirming trust and unity. Lions rest in close contact, their warmth and presence a source of comfort and security. Baboons huddle tightly as night falls, sharing body heat and vigilance against nocturnal predators. Interdependence flourishes in unexpected ways. Oxpeckers perch atop zebras and buffalo, plucking parasites and sounding alarms at the first sign of danger. Wildebeest and zebras graze in tandem, their differing diets allowing them to share the same fields while benefiting from each other's alertness. Giraffes browse high in the acacias, accompanied by birds that feed on insects disturbed by their movement. Ingenious adaptations are found at every scale. Dung beetles, guided by the stars, roll their precious cargo across the savanna, ensuring food for their young. Termites construct towering mounds, their architecture regulating temperature and humidity with astonishing precision. Acacia trees, bristling with thorns, form alliances with ants, offering sweet nectar in exchange for relentless protection against herbivores. The great migrations are a spectacle of unity and endurance. Wildebeest surge across rivers in vast numbers, braving crocodile-infested waters. Zebras follow, their stripes blending into a living current. Elephants traverse the plains in tight-knit groups, their movements synchronized by deep familial bonds and shared purpose. Each new generation inherits a legacy of survival. Elephant calves shadow their mothers, learning the rhythms of migration. Lion cubs trail behind adults, absorbing the lessons of the hunt. Wildebeest calves, barely hours old, run with the herd, their instincts guiding them through perilous journeys. As dawn breaks over the Serengeti, the land awakens with life. Herds graze in harmony, predators watch from the shadows, and the air hums with the quiet determination of countless creatures. Here, survival is not a solitary endeavour, but a shared legacy, etched into the earth and carried forward by every living being that calls the Serengeti home. Stretching to the horizon, the Serengeti is a living mosaic, each patch teeming with life. From above, the plains reveal a choreography of movement, herds drifting like shadows, predators lurking at the edges, and birds wheeling overhead. Every organism, from the towering acacia trees to the nearly invisible ants beneath the soil, is woven into this vast ecological tapestry. Wildebeest and zebras, the great grazers, sweep across the grasslands in immense numbers. Their grazing trims the savanna, preventing overgrowth and allowing sunlight to reach the soil, which encourages new shoots to sprout. As they move, their hooves disturb the earth, exposing seeds and insects. Tiny grasshoppers leap from their path, while beetles and ants scurry to take advantage of the freshly turned ground. Predators, ever watchful, shape the destiny of the herds. Lions stalk through the tall grass, their golden coats blending seamlessly with the landscape. Cheetahs, built for speed, explode into motion, targeting the swiftest gazelles. Leopards, solitary and elusive, perch in the branches, eyes fixed on the movements below. By culling the weak and the sick, these hunters ensure that only the fittest survive, maintaining the health of the population and preventing the grasslands from being stripped bare. When a hunt ends, the Serengeti's clean-up crew arrives. Vultures descend in spirals, their keen eyesight guiding them to the remains. Hyenas and jackals tear at the flesh, their powerful jaws breaking bones that others cannot. Marabou storks probe with their long bills, while beetles swarm over the scraps, consuming what larger scavengers leave behind. This rapid recycling returns nutrients to the earth, nourishing the next generation of plants and halting the spread of disease. Dung beetles, tireless workers, roll balls of dung across the plains, burying them underground where they fertilize the soil. Termites, master builders, construct towering mounds that aerate the earth and provide shelter for countless other species. Elephants, the giants of the savanna, push through dense thickets, uprooting trees and opening up the landscape. Their actions create clearings where sunlight floods in, allowing grasses and wildflowers to flourish and providing new feeding grounds for grazers. The pulse of the Serengeti is set by the seasons. As rains sweep across the plains, the landscape transforms. Parched earth turns emerald, and dormant seeds burst into life. Wildebeest gather at swollen rivers, their hooves churning the mud as they plunge into the current. Crocodiles, patient and silent, wait beneath the surface, ready to seize the unwary. The migration surges forward, driven by the promise of fresh grazing and water, while predators and scavengers follow in their wake, each attuned to the rhythm of renewal and survival. Yet the balance is fragile. A single absence, a vanished species, a disrupted migration, can send shockwaves through the ecosystem. The loss of a grazer leaves grass to grow unchecked, while the disappearance of a predator allows prey populations to swell, straining the land. Even the smallest creatures, like insects searching for sustenance among withered grass, feel the consequences of imbalance. When harmony prevails, the Serengeti thrives. Herds of antelope graze in the shadow of giraffes, each species selecting different plants and heights, reducing competition and allowing a multitude of life to coexist. The dawn reveals a landscape alive with movement. Flocks of birds rise from the grass, and the air hums with the activity of countless unseen insects. Every creature, no matter its size, plays a role. Elephants stride across the plains, their massive feet stirring up beetles and ants. Pollinators, bees, butterflies and birds flit from flower to flower, ensuring the next generation of plants. Seed dispersers carry the promise of new growth far and wide, while birds feast on the bounty of seeds and insects. As the sun sets, the Serengeti's web of life is illuminated in silhouette. Herds, predators, scavengers and insects all moving in synchrony. Animal tracks crisscross the mud, each line a story of survival and connection. Here, every life is bound to another, forming a chain that stretches across the plains and through the ages. The Serengeti endures, its intricate web holding strong as long as each thread remains unbroken. As the first rays of sunlight sweep across the endless Serengeti, the land awakens with a quiet tension. Herds of wildebeest and zebra graze warily, their movements shaped by instincts honed over countless generations. Yet beneath this timeless rhythm, a new and formidable threat looms, one not born of tooth or claw, but of human expansion and its far-reaching consequences. Fields of crops now press against the wild, their neat rows replacing the tangled brush and open grasslands that once stretched unbroken to the horizon. Forests, felled for timber and farmland, leave behind barren earth and exposed roots. Rivers that once carved lifelines through the savannah now dwindle to cracked beds, their banks littered with the remains of animals that could not find water. The ancient migration routes, once a seamless passage for millions, are now interrupted by fences and settlements, forcing herds to detour into unfamiliar and perilous terrain. Hidden among the grasses, wire snares lie in wait, silent, indiscriminate, and deadly. An antelope, its leg twisted and raw, limps through the brush, every step a struggle. The air is heavy with the scent of suffering, drawing vultures to circle above and hyenas to approach with wary hunger. Even the predators, so often the rulers of this land, are not immune. Lions and leopards, caught in these traps, become victims themselves, their strength no match for steel. The balance of life, so delicately maintained, is thrown into chaos. Yet, in the face of adversity, the resilience of the Serengeti's inhabitants shines through. A wildebeest calf, trembling and scarred, is gently nudged to its feet by the herd, their protective circle a living shield against further harm. Nearby, a matriarchal elephant uses her trunk to guide a hesitant calf across a treacherous patch of mud, her every movement a lesson in survival, passed down through generations. These moments of care and solidarity are the heartbeat of the wild, echoing across the plains. Where the land is given space to recover, life surges back with astonishing vigour. Wildebeest gather in vast numbers, their hooves drumming a steady rhythm as they move across rejuvenated grasslands. Young zebras and gazelles leap and play, their energy a testament to the safety of restored habitats. Cheetah cubs, emboldened by the abundance of prey, tumble through the tall grass in mock hunts, while giraffes stretch their necks to nibble on the tender shoots of newly sprouted acacias. Each sunrise reveals a landscape more vibrant than the last, a tapestry woven anew by the return of its rightful inhabitants. Conservation efforts breathe life back into the Serengeti's veins. Waterholes, once dry and forgotten, now brim with cool, clear water, drawing buffalo to wallow and lions to rest in the dappled shade of regrown woodlands. Hippos submerge themselves in the deep pools, their massive forms barely visible beneath the surface, while crocodiles bask on sun-warmed banks, ever watchful. The return of water transforms the landscape, inviting a chorus of frogs and the flutter of dragonflies, each species a vital thread in the intricate web of life. Ingenious wildlife corridors now bridge the gaps carved by human hands, guiding animals safely across the land. Elephants and zebras move confidently through these protected passages, their ancient instincts rekindled by the freedom to roam. Overpasses and underpasses allow wildebeest to cross highways without fear, while giraffes follow familiar trails, their long strides unbroken by barriers. These corridors are lifelines, reconnecting fragmented habitats and restoring the Serengeti's natural flow. As the land heals, even the most elusive creatures return. A leopard, once driven deep into hiding, now reclines in a dense thicket, its golden eyes surveying the world with renewed confidence. Warthogs root through lush grass, their snouts uncovering hidden tubers, while ostriches race across the open plains, their powerful legs kicking up clouds of dust. Jackals dig for insects in the soft earth, and the striking secretary bird stalks through the grass, each step precise and purposeful. Every returning species strengthens the Serengeti's wild tapestry, each interaction a note in the symphony of life. Across the continent, the ripple of hope spreads. In mist-shrouded forests, mountain gorillas thrive, their families growing in number and strength. Elephant herds, once scattered and diminished, now stride confidently across open grasslands, their calves learning the ways of the wild. Rhinos graze in the safety of protected reserves, their horns a symbol of resilience, while sable antelope emerge from the shadows of the woodlands, their coats gleaming in the sunlight. Each return is a victory, a testament to the power of protection and perseverance. In these sanctuaries, the next generation learns the skills of survival. A lioness demonstrates the art of the hunt to her cubs, their movements a blend of play and precision. Wildebeest surge across swollen rivers, their migration a spectacle of determination and unity. Zebras gather at waterholes, their reflections shimmering in the clear water, while cheetahs scan the horizon from termite mounds, ever alert. In the cool shade, baboon troops groom and bond, their social ties as vital as the land itself. When given the chance, nature's recovery is swift and spectacular. Waterholes become bustling hubs, drawing animals of every shape and size. Time-lapse reveals the savanna's transformation. bare earth giving way to a carpet of green, acacia saplings rising behind protective fences. Butterflies and bees flit among wildflowers, pollinating the next generation of plants. Wildebeest thunder across the open plains, their freedom a testament to the land's rebirth. As golden light bathes the Serengeti, the horizon stretches wide and full of promise. Migrating herds move in unison, their silhouettes etched against the dawn. After the rain, a rainbow arcs across the sky, a symbol of renewal and hope. Thunderclouds gather in the distance, promising life-giving storms. The future of this wild kingdom rests in our hands. With every effort to protect and restore, we ensure that the Serengeti's story is not one of loss, but of enduring hope, a place where harm is healed and the wild spirit endures for generations to come. The Serengeti stretches before us, a living tapestry woven from golden grasslands, scattered acacia trees, and the silhouettes of giraffes moving quietly at dusk. This ancient wilderness is more than a refuge for wildlife. It is a vital artery in the heart of our planet, sustaining a delicate equilibrium that has evolved over millennia. Yet the Serengeti faces mounting threats. Prolonged droughts parch the earth, while expanding fields of crops and settlements steadily encroach upon the wild savanna. The once unbroken horizon is now interrupted by the marks of human progress, and the air grows heavy with uncertainty for the creatures that call this place home. The consequences are stark. Watering holes, once teeming with life, shrink and vanish beneath the relentless sun. Herds of zebras and wildebeest are forced to travel farther, risking exhaustion and predation as they search for dwindling resources. The contrast between lush grasslands and barren earth grows sharper with each passing season. Every species here depends on the land's health. Lionesses nurture their cubs in the shelter of tall grasses, while wildebeest brave treacherous river crossings at dawn. Elephant herds follow ancient migration routes, guided by memory and the promise of water. Each animal's survival is intricately linked to the Serengeti's rhythms. The return of rain transforms the landscape. Rivers swell and snake through the plains, nourishing acacia groves and coaxing new life from the soil. Herds of antelope gather to graze on fresh shoots, while elephants feast on lush foliage. Even the smallest insects and birds thrive in this renewed abundance, each playing a role in the Serengeti's intricate web. Predators are the guardians of balance. Lions move silently through the grass, their presence shaping the movements of grazing herds. Cheetahs and leopards rely on stealth and speed, while hyenas and jackals patrol the twilight, ensuring that no resource goes to waste. Vultures circle above, ever watchful, completing the cycle of life and death. The Serengeti's diversity is its strength. Elephants carve pathways through the bush, opening up new grazing grounds. Giraffes delicately strip leaves from the highest branches, while wildebeest calves and zebra foals learn to run with the safety of the herd. Each species, from the towering giraffe to the swift-footed antelope, contributes to the ecosystem's resilience. New life emerges with every season. Elephant calves test their trunks in muddy pools, zebra foals take their first unsteady steps, and gazelle fawns rise on trembling legs to join the herd. These moments of vulnerability and growth are the foundation of the Serengeti's future. Conservation efforts yield visible results. Wildebeest cross rivers in greater numbers, their migrations safeguarded by protected corridors. Lion prides grow stronger, resting in the shade of restored grasslands. Wetlands, once drained and barren, now teem with birds, amphibians, and the silent glide of crocodiles beneath the surface. At the heart of the Serengeti, species coexist in a delicate harmony. Elephants and zebras share watering holes, giraffes and gazelles graze side by side, and antelope leap across the plains in displays of strength and agility. These scenes are only possible where the land remains wild and undisturbed. The Serengeti's vastness is awe-inspiring. From the first light of dawn to the last glow of sunset, the landscape shifts in colour and mood. Rolling grasslands stretch to the horizon, dotted with herds and shadowed by drifting clouds. This is a realm shaped by time, weather, and the endless movement of life. Every feature of this landscape tells a story. The lone acacia stands as a sentinel over the plains, while herds drift across the horizon in search of food and water. Termite mounds and ancient baobabs mark the passage of generations, and the sky itself becomes a canvas for storms and sunlight. The Serengeti's wonders are timeless. Wildebeest surge forward in great migrations, mothers guide their young through open grasslands, and sunsets bathe the land in golden light. After the rain, a rainbow arches across the sky, a fleeting promise of renewal and hope. This wild heritage belongs to all life on Earth. By protecting the Serengeti, we safeguard not only its animals and landscapes, but the intricate balance that sustains our world. Let us ensure that these scenes endure, untouched, untamed, and thriving, for generations yet to come. As the final rays of sunlight slip beneath the endless horizon, the Serengeti undergoes a profound transformation. The golden expanse of grasslands, once ablaze with daylight, now softens into a tapestry of deepening shadows and cool, muted colours. The moon rises, casting a silvery glow across the plains. Each blade of grass shimmers under its touch, and the landscape becomes a realm of mystery, where every shadow conceals a story waiting to unfold. Above, the sky is a canvas of stars, their brilliance undimmed by city lights. Beneath this celestial dome, the true rulers of the night begin to stir, their senses sharpened for the hours ahead. A solitary hyena glides through the darkness, its movements almost spectral. Every step is measured, every pause a calculation, as it listens for the faintest rustle of potential prey hidden in the tall grass. Not far away, a pride of lions stirs from their daytime rest. Their eyes, luminous and unblinking, pierce the gloom, reflecting the moonlight as they scan the savannah for signs of movement. The air is thick with tension. Every creature, predator and prey alike, is acutely aware that the balance of survival shifts with the coming of night. The hunt is imminent, and the stakes are life and death. For the stealthiest hunters, darkness is an ally. They move with practiced silence, blending seamlessly into the moonlit terrain, their bodies low and muscles coiled in anticipation. Leopards, masters of camouflage, slip through the undergrowth. Their rosetted coats dissolve into the dappled shadows, making them nearly invisible as they stalk through thickets and along the edges of dry riverbeds. Prey animals, like impalas and hares, move with heightened caution. Their ears swivel at the slightest sound, nostrils flaring to catch the scent of danger. Every step is tentative, every pause a moment to listen for the approach of silent hunters. Suddenly the stillness shatters. A burst of speed, a blur of fur and muscle as predator and prey engage in a desperate chase. The grass parts in their wake, and the outcome is decided in seconds. Overhead, an owl glides silently, its wings barely disturbing the cool night air. With eyes adapted to the faintest light, it scans the ground for the subtle movements of rodents weaving through the grass. In the trees, genets and civets move with agile precision. Their masked faces catch the moonlight as they leap from branch to branch, searching for insects, eggs, and small vertebrates hidden among the leaves. The nocturnal Serengeti is a mosaic of life. From the smallest insect to the largest predator, each creature plays a role in the intricate web that sustains this ecosystem through the darkness. Wildebeest gather in tight clusters, their bodies pressed together for warmth and protection. Calves nestle close to their mothers, shielded from prowling predators by the safety of the herd. Zebras remain vigilant, their striped coats breaking up their outlines in the shifting moonlight. They stand shoulder to shoulder, ears twitching, ready to bolt at the first sign of danger. Even the tiniest inhabitants are active. Bush babies leap between branches, their large eyes reflecting the starlight. Porcupines shuffle through the undergrowth, quills rustling softly, while nocturnal insects create a chorus that fills the air. Every sound is amplified in the cool night air. The distant roar of a lion, the rhythmic chirr of crickets, the gentle thud of paws pressing into the earth. Each noise is a signal, a warning, or a call. In this world of heightened senses, every moment is a test of awareness. Predator and prey alike are locked in a silent contest, where the faintest misstep can mean the difference between life and death. Gradually, the eastern sky brightens. The first calls of birds echo across the plains, signalling the end of the nocturnal drama. Shadows recede, and the world is bathed in the gentle light of dawn. As the sun rises, the creatures of the night retreat to their hidden refuges. The secrets of darkness are once again concealed, waiting for the next sunset to reveal them. Yet the Serengeti never truly sleeps. Life pulses through every hour, every shadow, every patch of grass, as the cycle of survival continues without pause. Beneath the moon and stars, the wild heart of Africa beats on, silent, vigilant, and eternally alive, its rhythms echoing through the endless night. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the Serengeti, the vast plains awaken to a world in flux. The golden dawn reveals a landscape shaped not only by time, but by the relentless march of the seasons, a cycle as old as the land itself. Each year, the Serengeti transforms under the influence of shifting weather patterns. The sky, heavy with promise, signals the coming rains, while the earth below braces for renewal or hardship. When the rains finally arrive, they fall in sweeping curtains, drumming against the cracked earth. Parched soil drinks deeply, and dormant seeds stir beneath the surface. Within days, the plains erupt in a surge of green. Grasses unfurl, stretching toward the sky, carpeting the savanna in a lush, vibrant tapestry that seems to pulse with life. In this season of abundance, wildebeest calves are born in their thousands. Their unsteady legs carry them through the emerald grass, while vigilant mothers shield them from prowling predators hidden in the shadows. Elephants, too, revel in the wet season. They immerse themselves in muddy wallows, coating their skin with a protective layer that cools and shields them from biting insects. Temporary pools form across the plains, attracting flocks of storks and herons. These opportunistic birds feast on frogs and fish that emerge with the water, while the air vibrates with the hum of countless insects. Yet this period of plenty is fleeting. As the rains cease, the relentless sun returns, baking the ground and withering the once lush grasses. The landscape shifts from green to gold. Grasses dry and brittle, the savanna glows beneath the harsh, unyielding light. Waterholes shrink, becoming precious lifelines. Herds of wildebeest and zebra gather in uneasy truce, their survival dependent on these dwindling pools. In the shade, lions and cheetahs lie in wait. Their patience is measured, their senses sharpened by hunger as they watch the herds for any sign of weakness. Zebras, their stripes shimmering in the heat, journey across the dust-laden plains. Driven by thirst, they travel vast distances, their endurance tested with every step. The dry season is unforgiving. Only those with strength, cunning, or unique adaptations can withstand the scarcity and relentless heat. Some animals reveal extraordinary strategies. Certain antelope dig for hidden roots, while others rest in the shade, conserving every drop of moisture. Crocodiles, masters of survival, burrow deep into riverbank mud. Encased in a cocoon of earth, they enter a state of suspended animation, waiting for the return of water. Above, millions of Kelea birds move as one, their swirling formations a living shield against aerial predators. Each twist and turn is a calculated response to danger. Beneath the grasses, armies of dung beetles, termites and ants labour tirelessly. They break down waste and dead vegetation, returning vital nutrients to the soil and ensuring the land's fertility. Time-lapse reveals the Serengeti's perpetual metamorphosis. Wet and dry, lush and barren, the landscape is in constant motion, shaped by forces both seen and unseen. The great migrations begin anew. Wildebeest, zebra and gazelle traverse the plains, following ancient routes in search of food and water. Birth and renewal accompany their journey, each generation shaped by the trials of the land. Survival here is a delicate dance. Timing, resilience and adaptation are everything. The difference between feast and famine is measured in moments and instinct. The only constant is change. Each transition brings new challenges, new opportunities, and new stories written across the savannah. As the sun sets over the endless plains, the Serengeti's story continues, an epic saga of survival, adaptation, and the eternal rhythm of life, played out with every rise and fall of the seasons. In the vast expanse of the Serengeti, water is the invisible force that shapes every life and landscape. Its presence or absence determines the fate of millions, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal. Rivers snake through the plains, their courses shifting with the seasons. Temporary pools, born from sudden rains, glisten briefly before vanishing, leaving behind only cracked earth and the memory of abundance. As midday heat shimmers across the grasslands, immense herds of wildebeest and zebra appear on the horizon, drawn by the promise of water. They move in unison, their hooves raising clouds of dust as they approach the Grumeti and Mara rivers, lifelines in a parched world. Generations of migration have etched winding trails into the earth, each path a testament to the relentless search for water. These routes are not random, they are the result of ancient memory, passed down through instinct and experience. Elephants, the wise elders of the plains, lead their families across barren stretches. Guided by memories of distant rains, they uncover hidden springs, dormant for months, now bubbling to life with the return of the wet season. At every waterhole a delicate balance unfolds. Wildebeest, zebra, antelope and gazelle gather side by side, their differences set aside in the face of thirst. The air is thick with tension, as each animal remains alert to the dangers that lurk nearby. As waterholes shrink under the relentless sun, giraffes splay their legs awkwardly to drink, while antelope glance nervously at the shadows. Here, survival demands uneasy alliances, and every sip is taken with caution. Predators, ever patient, conceal themselves in the tall grass. Lions and leopards wait in silence, knowing that desperation will eventually draw even the most vigilant prey within striking distance. Beneath the surface, a hidden world flourishes. Tiny fish dart among submerged roots, while aquatic insects skim the water, their lives unfolding in miniature dramas invisible to those above. Schools of fish weave through reeds, their movements synchronized in a dance of survival. Crocodiles, ancient and motionless, float just beneath the surface, their eyes betraying nothing as they wait for the unwary. Overhead, flocks of birds sweep low, their wings casting fleeting shadows on the water. They snatch insects mid-flight, their calls echoing across the plains as they feast on the bounty stirred by the ripples. As the dry season deepens, waterholes become crowded arenas. Dust rises as animals jostle for position, each one driven by the urgent need to drink before the last puddle disappears. Dominant hippos assert their authority, opening their massive jaws in displays of power. Their bellows reverberate across the water, warning rivals to keep their distance or face a violent challenge. Buffalo herds surge forward, their bodies pressing together as they compete for space. Hooves churn the mud, transforming the water's edge into a chaotic, slippery battleground. Along the margins, frogs emerge from hiding, their calls rising in chorus as they seize the brief opportunity to breed. Dragonflies hover and dart, their iridescent wings catching the sunlight as they hunt for prey. With each passing season, rivers swell with rain and then recede, leaving behind new channels and reshaped banks. Animal tracks crisscross the mud, evidence of countless journeys made in search of water. The relentless quest for water drives epic migrations. Herds plunge into rivers, braving swift currents and lurking predators, forging connections and rivalries that ripple through the ecosystem. Dewdrops cling to blades of grass at dawn, a fleeting source of moisture for insects and birds. At the riverbank, tension mounts as animals gather, each one acutely aware of the risks and rewards that water brings. As the sun sets, the riverbank glows with golden light. Here, at the water's edge, the Serengeti's story is written anew each day. One drink, one struggle, one fleeting moment of peace at a time. Beneath the towering grasses, where sunlight filters through a dense canopy of green, an entire universe unfolds, one that is rarely glimpsed by the larger inhabitants of the Serengeti. Here the ground teems with life, each blade of grass sheltering a multitude of tiny creatures, each with a role as vital as any lion or elephant. In this microcosm, insects are the silent engineers. Ants tunnel beneath the soil, aerating the earth and creating passageways for water and roots. Beetles scuttle over fallen leaves, breaking down organic matter and returning nutrients to the ground. Every movement, every task is a thread in the intricate web of life. As the first rays of dawn stretch across the savannah, mattabelly ants emerge in disciplined columns. Their synchronized march is a display of collective intelligence, each ant communicating through touch and scent, their destination clear, the hidden fortresses of termites. The ensuing raid is a spectacle of strategy and speed. Mattabelly ants breach the termite mound, overwhelming defenders with sheer numbers. Their actions regulate termite populations, preventing overconsumption of plant material and maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Elsewhere, dung beetles seize the morning. With remarkable strength, they carve and roll balls of dung across the plains, navigating obstacles and rivals. Their journey is relentless, driven by the need to secure food and a safe nursery for their offspring. Once a suitable spot is found, the beetle buries its prize deep in the earth. This act not only nourishes the next generation, but also enriches the soil, promoting the growth of grasses that sustain the Serengeti's grazers. Above the grasses, a kaleidoscope of butterflies and bees flutters from flower to flower. Their delicate forms drift on the breeze, yet their purpose is unwavering, to transfer pollen, ensuring the survival of countless plant species. Sunlight catches on iridescent wings, illuminating the intricate patterns that serve as camouflage and warning. Bees, dusted with golden pollen, move methodically from blossom to blossom, orchestrating the renewal of the savanna's flora. The acacia's golden pom-poms and the wild hibiscus's vibrant petals depend on these pollinators. Without their daily visits, these plants would fail to set seed, depriving antelope, giraffes and elephants of vital nourishment. Hidden beneath bark and within fallen logs, termites labour ceaselessly. Their jaws break down tough cellulose, transforming dead wood and leaves into rich humus. This process recycles nutrients, sustaining the fertility of the Serengeti's soils. The mounds they construct rise above the plains like ancient monuments. These structures regulate temperature and humidity, channel rainwater, and offer refuge to a host of other creatures, from burrowing mongooses to pythons seeking shelter from the midday heat. As the sun dips below the horizon, cicadas emerge from their hiding places. Their collective song swells, a rhythmic chorus that marks the transition from day to night, echoing across the savanna and signalling the shift in activity among nocturnal species. Camouflaged among the leaves, praying mantises remain motionless, their bodies perfectly mimicking the surrounding foliage. With lightning speed, they strike at unsuspecting prey, maintaining the balance between predator and prey in this miniature world. Assassin bugs, with their elongated bodies and piercing mouthparts, stalk through the undergrowth, ambushing insects many times their size. Along the riverbanks, dragonflies dart and hover, their iridescent bodies flashing in the fading light as they hunt mosquitoes and other flying insects. With each sunrise and sunset, the insect world stirs anew. Some species emerge only in the cool hours, while others retreat, their cycles perfectly attuned to the rhythms of light and temperature. Pollinators, decomposers, and predators, each insect fulfills a unique function. Bees ensure the next generation of plants, beetles break down detritus, and predatory insects keep populations in check, preventing outbreaks that could devastate the ecosystem. Across the vast plains, insects interact in countless ways, competing, cooperating, and coexisting. Their combined efforts sustain the Serengeti, weaving a resilient fabric that supports all life, from the smallest shrew to the tallest giraffe. Birds swoop low to snatch insects from the grass, their survival intertwined with the abundance of these tiny creatures. Should insect numbers dwindle, the entire food chain would tremble, and the lush grasslands would begin to fade. In this intricate world, the smallest inhabitants wield the greatest influence. Their presence shapes the landscape, sustains the giants, and ensures the Serengeti's eternal renewal, a testament to the profound power of the small in the kingdom of the mighty. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the endless Serengeti, the land awakens with a quiet urgency. Here, the arrival of new life is both a fragile hope and a daunting challenge, set against a backdrop of golden grass and shifting shadows. A newborn giraffe, legs trembling, rises beside its vigilant mother, while deep within a hidden den, hyena cubs blink at the world for the very first time, their senses raw and untested. Across the plains, a wildebeest calf struggles upright, its first steps uncertain, the herd's low calls urging it onward into the safety of numbers. For every young creature, the Serengeti is a living classroom. Instinct guides their movements, but every shadow and whisper in the grass is a lesson in vigilance. A newborn impala, still slick with the afterbirth of night, wobbles on spindly legs. Its mother's gentle nudge is both comfort and command, move or risk discovery. The tall grass conceals more than just the wind. Every rustle could signal danger, and the impala's wide eyes scan for threats that lurk unseen. Lions, masters of stealth, lie in wait, their golden eyes fixed on the vulnerable. A single lapse in attention can mean the difference between life and death. Jackals, ever opportunistic, weave through the grass, their noses twitching as they search for the faintest scent of weakness. For the newborn, the first lesson is unforgiving. Rise swiftly or risk being left behind, exposed to the relentless gaze of predators. In the secrecy of a shaded den, lion cubs are born into a world of shifting alliances and silent competition. They tumble and wrestle in the thicket, their play a rehearsal for the battles that lie ahead, each movement sharpening their reflexes. Blue-eyed and curious, they peer out at a world brimming with both wonder and peril, absorbing every detail. When hunger interrupts their games, the cubs gather, their anticipation palpable as they await the return of the pride. Lionesses, seasoned hunters, guide their young to a fresh kill. Here, the cubs experience the taste of meat for the first time, learning the unspoken rules of the feast. Patience is tested as they wait their turn, eyes fixed on the prize while older siblings jostle for position. Every meal is a contest where only the boldest secure the choicest morsels and the timid go hungry. In the cool embrace of the river, a hippo calf learns to navigate the shallows, its mother's immense form a constant shield. Crocodiles lurk beneath the surface, their patience as deep as the water itself, while the mother hippo stands guard, ready to defend her calf at any cost. The calf must master the rhythm of breath and water, learning to surface and submerge with effortless grace. Always it remains within the protective shadow of its mother, never straying far from her formidable presence. Elephant calves are born into a fortress of kin. The herd's circle is both shield and sanctuary, each member vigilant for threats. At the waterhole, elders demonstrate the art of drinking and dust bathing, their trunks guiding the young with gentle precision. Together they traverse ancient migration routes, the calves' steps echoing the wisdom of generations past. Yet even the mightiest matriarch cannot shield her family from the spectre of drought or the silent approach of predators. The young must learn to interpret every scent and sound, reading the land for signs of danger or opportunity. A sudden shift in the wind brings new information, predators on the move, or perhaps the promise of rain. High above, a fledgling vulture edges closer to the rim of its nest, the world below vast and unknown. Its first flight is a moment of pure instinct, a leap into the void, wings untested but determined. With each beat, it learns to ride the thermals, mastering the delicate balance between gravity and the promise of the sky. On the ground, adolescent cheetahs streak across the open plain, their bodies built for speed, their games a rehearsal for the chase. Each sprint hones their muscles and reflexes, preparing them for the day when survival will depend on a single explosive burst of energy. With every sunrise, the cycle begins anew. The land is both nurturing and unforgiving, testing the resolve of every young life. At the water's edge, thirst draws the vulnerable, while predators linger in the periphery, ever watchful for a moment of weakness. The relentless demands of hunger and thirst drive the young onward, across parched earth and through tangled grass, forging resilience with every step. Yet, amid the struggle, moments of tenderness endure. Family bonds are strengthened in quiet repose, each touch a silent promise of protection. A mother's nuzzle reassures the uncertain, her presence a constant in a world of shifting dangers. The herd forms a living barrier encircling the young, their unity a formidable defence against the unknown. Playful skirmishes between siblings are more than games. They are the first lessons in strength, agility and social bonds. Each exploration, each tentative step into the wild is a test of courage and adaptability, shaping the survivors of tomorrow. Alone against the vastness, the young must rely on instinct and the lessons of their elders, their innocence slowly giving way to experience. In the Serengeti, childhood is fleeting. Growth is measured not in years, but in the hard-won wisdom of survival. Through hardship and triumph, the next generation emerges, stronger, wiser, and ready to face the wild, shaped by the crucible of their earliest days. Over the vast rolling plains of the Serengeti, the true master of fate is not the hunter nor the hunted, but the sky, an ever-shifting tapestry that governs every heartbeat and every blade of grass. Weather here is not a silent backdrop. It is a living force, shaping the land and its inhabitants with relentless precision, sometimes gentle, often unforgiving. When the rains hesitate, the earth fractures. The sun beats down, turning the once verdant grasslands into a brittle, sun-bleached expanse. Grass blades curl and yellow, surrendering to the relentless heat, their roots clinging to the last traces of moisture. Waterholes recede, their muddy perimeters etched with the desperate tracks of countless animals, each footprint a silent testament to the struggle for survival. Wildebeest and zebras, driven by thirst, band together in tight formations, their movements synchronized as they traverse the barren plains in search of distant promise. Elephants, guided by memory and instinct, excavate the parched riverbeds, their trunks probing deep for hidden water, offering precious droplets to their calves. In the haze, lions crouch low in the dust, their bodies lean, eyes fixed on weakened prey that stagger across the open, vulnerable and exposed. Drought is impartial. It spares none. Giant elephants and minuscule termites alike are tested, each adapting in their own way to the relentless scarcity. On the horizon, thunder rumbles, a distant drumbeat that signals both hope and upheaval. Storm clouds assemble, their bellies heavy with rain, swirling and darkening as they prepare to unleash their power. The first raindrops strike the cracked earth, sending up tiny puffs of dust before soaking in, and the land breathes a collective sigh of relief. Almost overnight, emerald shoots burst forth, carpeting the plains in vibrant green, a signal for life to return in abundance. Rivers, once mere ribbons of dust, surge with new energy, carving fresh channels through the rejuvenated landscape. Hippos emerge, their bellows echoing across flooded pools, while crocodiles slip silently through the swirling currents, reclaiming their watery domains. Yet with renewal comes turmoil. Gale-force winds and torrential rain sweep across the plains, bending trees and scattering debris. Lightning forks from the sky, splintering ancient acacias and igniting wildfires that race unchecked through the night, consuming everything in their path. Herds stampede ahead of the flames, while flocks of birds swoop low, seizing insects flushed from the burning grass. Torrents of rain inundate burrows and nests, forcing creatures to abandon their homes and seek refuge on higher ground. Every animal, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, must confront the elements. Each storm, each drought, a new test of endurance. Zebras time the birth of their foals to coincide with the flush of new grass, ensuring their young have the best chance at survival. Termites respond to the deluge by sealing their mounds, protecting their colonies from the encroaching water. Ostriches shield their chicks beneath broad wings, forming living shelters against the driving rain. Across the windswept plains, animals adjust their movements, responding instantly to the shifting moods of the weather. Each gust, each downpour, a cue for action or retreat. As the storm clouds part, sunlight spills across the plains, illuminating a landscape transformed, every surface glistening with renewal. Wildebeest, zebras, and antelopes emerge from shelter, grazing eagerly on the fresh growth, their coats slick with rain, their spirits revived. In the Serengeti, the weather is an ever-present force, unpredictable, commanding, and inescapable. Every creature's fate is written in the clouds above, and survival depends on reading the sky's every sign. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the endless Serengeti, the golden grasses shimmer with dew, and the silhouettes of acacia trees stretch long shadows over the awakening plains. Beneath this tranquil surface, apex predators, lions, hyenas, leopards and cheetahs, move with calculated intent, each step a silent declaration of their claim to this ancient land. The boundaries between hunter and hunted dissolve in the tall grass, where every movement is scrutinized and every shadow could conceal either threat or opportunity. Lions stride with regal confidence, leopards melt into the dappled shade, and cheetahs scan the horizon, each species adapting to the ever-shifting dynamics of the savanna. Hyenas, ever opportunistic, weave through this tapestry of rivalry, their presence a constant reminder that alliances here are fleeting and trust is a rare commodity. At dawn, a lion pride fans out across its territory, their synchronized movements a testament to years of learned cooperation and inherited instinct. Their forms, outlined against the pale morning sky, exude both power and vigilance, a warning to all who might challenge their reign. Each boundary is meticulously marked, scent, urine and deep claw marks on ancient trees, signalling ownership and readiness to defend at any cost. When rivals encroach, whether a bold hyena clan or a coalition of young male lions, the response is immediate and explosive. Snarls erupt and the ground trembles beneath charging paws. A single misstep, a paw pressing into forbidden ground, can trigger a violent clash, the tension palpable in the air before the storm breaks. The lion's roar, deep and resonant, rolls across the plains, a sonic boundary that warns intruders and rallies allies. Every creature, antelope, zebra, even rival predators, pauses, alert to the message carried on the wind, their bodies tensed for flight or confrontation. On the periphery, a coalition of cheetahs moves with ghost-like caution, their eyes scanning for both prey and the looming threat of larger carnivores. They hunt with breathtaking speed, but their victories are fleeting. Meals must be devoured in haste, always under the threat of being usurped by a lion's charge or a hyena's relentless pursuit. Even as blood stains the grass, the cheetah's head snaps up, ears twitching, every sense straining for the approach of danger. The metallic scent of fresh blood is a beacon, carried swiftly on the breeze, summoning scavengers and competitors from miles away. Hyenas, with their acute sense of smell, and vultures circling high above, converge on the scene, each drawn by the promise of an easy meal. In the tangled riverine thickets, where sunlight barely penetrates, another drama unfolds, one of stealth and solitude. A solitary leopard, muscles rippling beneath its spotted coat, hauls an impala carcass high into the fork of a sturdy tree, defying gravity and the reach of ground-bound scavengers. Suspended above the chaos, the leopard feeds in precarious isolation, every bite a triumph over the ever-present threat below. Below, hyenas circle with relentless patience, their eyes fixed on the branches, waiting for a scrap to fall or for the leopard's grip to slip. Every rustle above sends a ripple of anticipation through the waiting clan, their senses sharpened by hunger and hope. They linger, unwavering, knowing that patience can yield a reward in this unforgiving landscape. Across the plains, territory is marked not just by scent, but by deep gouges in bark and the lingering musk of dominance, each sign a silent warning to rivals. The bodies of these predators bear the history of their battles, scars etched into skin and muscle, each one a testament to survival in a world where mercy is rare. As the seasons turn, the Serengeti transforms, lush grasslands give way to parched earth, and the boundaries of power shift with the migration of prey and the retreat of water. Waterholes shrink to muddy remnants, forcing herds to travel vast distances and drawing predators into tense proximity at these vital lifelines. Hyena clans, sometimes numbering over 30 strong, move as a single coordinated force, their social structure as intricate as any pride of lions. When lions are forced to abandon territory, hyenas swiftly occupy the void, exploring every inch for overlooked scraps and new opportunities. Within the clan, dominance is asserted through ritualized displays, snapping jaws, raised hackles, and the unmistakable whoops that echo across the plains. Clashes erupt in an instant, teeth bared, dust flying, the outcome determined by strength, numbers, and sheer will. As the dust rises, vultures spiral overhead, their keen eyes tracking every movement, ready to descend at the first sign of weakness. The balance of power is never static. Unexpected alliances form, and sudden betrayals shift the fate of individuals and entire groups. Young male lions, recently exiled from their birth pride, band together, their unity forged by necessity and ambition. They prowl the margins, testing the defences of established prides, their presence a harbinger of upheaval and change. Driven by hunger and instinct, they explore unfamiliar ground, seeking the moment when weakness reveals itself and a new kingdom can be claimed. Their arrival sends ripples through the social fabric. Alliances fracture, old rulers are challenged, and the youngest members of the pride face the gravest danger. Yet from the chaos, a new order emerges. Each predator adapts, finding its place in the ever-evolving hierarchy. Lions dominate the open plains, leopards haunt the riverine forests, cheetahs patrol the grassland edges, and hyenas exploit every opportunity in between. Each species refines its hunting strategy, ambush, pursuit, endurance, shaped by countless generations of trial and error. Cheetahs rely on daylight speed, lions orchestrate hunts under the cover of darkness, and leopards move like shadows, unseen and unheard. In moments of chaos, enemies become unwitting allies. A hyena mob may drive lions from a kill, inadvertently allowing a patient leopard to claim what remains. Jackals, ever alert, dart in to snatch morsels amid the confusion, their agility and timing the key to survival among giants. For every predator, the greatest threat is not always hunger, but the presence of another predator. Each encounter a test of nerve, strength, and cunning. Survival hinges on more than muscle or speed. It demands constant vigilance, the ability to read rivals, and the wisdom to know when to fight or flee. Every scent on the wind, every track in the dust, is a clue in the ongoing chess match of survival, where alliances shift and enemies become neighbours overnight. As darkness falls, the Serengeti transforms again. Predators move with renewed purpose, their paths crossing in the moonlight, each negotiation written in posture and gaze. The story of the night is etched in claw marks and carried on the wind by distant howls, a testament to the relentless, ever-changing struggle for survival in predator territory. As the first light spills across the Serengeti, a silent world awakens beneath the golden haze. Here, the true architects of survival are not the predators or prey, but the plants, each one a master of endurance, quietly shaping the fate of the plains. The grasses, stretching as far as the eye can see, form a living carpet that sustains the entire ecosystem. Each blade is a survivor, engineered to withstand the relentless sun, the trampling of hooves, and the hunger of countless grazers. In the dry season, the grasses become brittle and pale, yet their roots remain alive, locked deep in the earth, waiting for the promise of rain. Herds of wildebeest move in synchronized waves, their passage both a threat and a necessity for the grassland's renewal. Scattered across the plains, acacia trees rise above the sea of grass, their silhouettes unmistakable against the horizon. Their umbrella-shaped crowns provide rare shade, casting islands of coolness in the heat. As midday approaches, the acacia's delicate leaves fold inward, a subtle defense against water loss. This adaptation allows them to thrive where lesser plants would wither. Their formidable thorns deter most herbivores, yet giraffes with their extraordinary tongues navigate the spines with precision, plucking leaves that few others can reach. This selective browsing shapes the very architecture of the savanna. Beneath the surface, the roots of red oat grass delve deep, tapping into hidden reserves of moisture. Even in the harshest drought, these roots anchor the soil, preventing erosion and supporting life above. When the rains finally arrive, the transformation is sudden and spectacular. Wildflowers erupt in a riot of colour, vivid yellows, deep purples and brilliant crimsons, each blossom attracting a flurry of pollinators. Bees, butterflies and beetles gather in a fleeting celebration of abundance. Some plants employ cunning strategies to ensure their survival. The whistling thorn acacia, for example, has evolved a remarkable partnership with ants. The tree offers hollow thorns as shelter and secretes sweet nectar, drawing in armies of ants that patrol its branches. In exchange, these ants become vigilant defenders, swarming over any intruder, be it insect or mammal, that dares to threaten their host. This alliance is a living shield forged by necessity. Every adaptation, whether a thorn, a waxy leaf, or a deep root, tells a story of survival. Over millennia, these plants have been sculpted by fire, drought, and the appetites of animals. Fire, once seen as a destroyer, is in fact a vital force of renewal in the Serengeti. Periodic fires sweep across the grasslands, consuming old growth and returning nutrients to the soil. The flames clear away the dead, making way for new life. Within days, the blackened earth is pierced by fresh green shoots. Grazers are drawn to this tender regrowth, and the cycle of life begins anew. In the shaded undergrowth, the sausage tree drops its massive fruit, each one a vital food source for a host of animals. Its bark, thick and fire-resistant, bears the marks of countless seasons, proof of its resilience in a land of extremes. The plants of the Serengeti are not mere scenery. They are the foundation upon which all life depends, shaping the landscape and the destinies of every creature that walks, crawls, or flies above. Their roots bind the soil, their leaves capture the sun's energy, and their seeds ride the wind, carrying the promise of renewal from one season to the next. Without the quiet strength and ingenuity of these plants, the Serengeti spectacle would vanish, leaving only silence where life once thrived. As the sun dips below the horizon, the Serengeti transforms. The golden light fades, revealing a landscape marked by the remnants of life. Bones scattered across the grass, silent witnesses to the day's relentless struggle for survival. But the story does not end with the hunt. Instead, a new chapter begins, one of renewal and unseen labour. As darkness settles, the first to arrive are the scavengers. Spotted hyenas, their senses finely tuned, converge on the remains. Their presence signals opportunity for others. Vultures, jackals, and a host of lesser-known creatures, all drawn by the promise of sustenance. A solitary hyena moves with purpose, its nose lifted to catch the faintest scent. Every step is calculated, every movement a testament to its role as nature's relentless recycler. With jaws capable of crushing bone, the hyena devours what predators leave behind. It extracts marrow, shattering even the toughest remains, ensuring that nothing edible is wasted. The crunch of bone echoes across the plain, a sound of efficiency and survival. Above, vultures spiral downward in a coordinated descent. Their wings catch the last rays of twilight as they land, each species taking its place in a precise hierarchy. White-backed vultures tear at muscle, hooded vultures probe for scraps in crevices, and lappet-faced vultures use their powerful beaks to open tough hides. Together they strip the carcass with astonishing speed and accuracy, leaving only the barest skeleton. As the larger scavengers finish, the ground comes alive. Insects swarm over the remains, their tiny bodies working tirelessly to break down what is left. The soil itself becomes a stage for this intricate process. Under the cover of darkness, dung beetles emerge. They roll perfectly formed balls of dung across the earth, burying them deep below the surface. This simple act aerates the soil and returns vital nutrients, fueling the next cycle of growth. Hidden within towering mounds, termites orchestrate a quiet revolution. They consume dead wood and tough grasses, transforming them into rich, fertile earth. Their tunnels channel water and air, shaping the very foundation of the savanna. Ants swarm over sinew and bone, while flies lay eggs that hatch into larvae, accelerating decomposition. Even microscopic bacteria join the effort, breaking down organic matter at a molecular level, releasing essential elements back into the ecosystem. In a matter of days, a wildebeest carcass is reduced to nothing. Time-lapse reveals the relentless pace of this transformation. Flesh disappears, bones are scattered, and the earth reclaims what once was living. Sun-bleached bones linger for a time, gradually crumbling and merging with the soil. Minerals seep into the ground, enriching it for the next generation of plants. Soon, green shoots emerge where death once lay. Herds of grazers return, feeding on the lush grass, their bodies nourished by the cycle that began with loss and ended in renewal. Every participant, from the largest hyena to the tiniest microbe, plays a vital role in this seamless web. Their combined efforts maintain the delicate balance that defines the Serengeti. Without these tireless workers, disease would spread, nutrients would be lost, and the land would falter. Instead, the Serengeti thrives, its soil rich, its wildlife abundant, its cycles unbroken. Beneath the spectacle of predators and prey, the true heartbeat of the savannah pulses quietly. Scavengers and decomposers, nature's clean-up crew, ensure that every ending is a new beginning, and that life in all its forms endures. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the Serengeti, the vast plains awaken in a golden haze. The landscape stretches endlessly, each blade of grass catching the morning light, painting a portrait of ancient Africa sculpted by eons of natural forces. The gentle sway of grass conceals a world in flux. Beneath this tranquil surface, the Serengeti is quietly transforming, shaped by forces both visible and unseen. High above, satellites trace silent arcs across the night sky, their sensors mapping the intricate web of migration routes that have guided millions of animals for generations. These ancient highways, once uninterrupted, now face unprecedented challenges. The encroachment of farmland and the sprawl of roads carve new boundaries into the wilderness, fragmenting the once continuous expanse. These invisible barriers disrupt the instinctive journeys of countless creatures. Wildebeest herds, numbering in the thousands, now confront fences and obstacles that force them to alter their ancient paths. Their migrations, once seamless, are now a test of endurance and adaptation. At a distant waterhole, elephants gather in the early light, their trunks drawing water from a shrinking pool. Unaware of the shifting climate, they move with the rhythms of the land, even as those rhythms begin to falter. Storm clouds gather, but the rains arrive late and vanish quickly, leaving the earth parched and cracked. The once reliable seasons grow unpredictable, challenging every living thing. Rivers that once flowed year-round now dwindle to dusty channels. Grasslands recede, and wildlife must compete for every remaining patch of green, their survival balanced on a knife's edge. Even the smallest changes ripple outward. The timing of acacia blooms shifts, and insects emerge at new intervals, subtly altering the web of life that binds the ecosystem together. Predators, ever watchful, adjust their strategies. Lions stalk through taller grass, while cheetahs scan the horizon for weakened prey, each movement a response to the evolving landscape. Yet, beneath the surface, hope persists. After rare rains, new shoots of grass push through the soil, signaling resilience and renewal. Hidden among the grasses, camera traps silently record the passage of elusive creatures. Tracking collars, fitted with precision, transmit vital data, revealing the secret lives of animals as they navigate a changing world. Drones soar above the plains, capturing sweeping vistas and intimate moments alike. Their lenses document migrations, births, and the daily struggles for survival with unprecedented clarity. Scientists collect DNA from fur and droppings, piecing together genetic puzzles. These samples reveal family lineages, track the spread of disease, and uncover the subtle adaptations that allow species to persist. Conservation efforts blend traditional knowledge with modern technology. Ancient wisdom guides the placement of tracking devices, ensuring that every intervention respects the rhythms of the land. Carefully planned wildlife corridors reconnect fragmented habitats, allowing animals to move freely once more. These green pathways restore the flow of life across the plains. Advanced sensors monitor for signs of poaching and fire, transforming raw data into rapid response. Every alert is a chance to protect the Serengeti's fragile balance. In the shelter of ancient baobabs, researchers plant drought-resistant grasses, testing new ways to safeguard the ecosystem against an uncertain future. The Serengeti's future remains unwritten, its fate hanging in the balance between loss and renewal. As the sun sets, wildebeest press onward, their eyes reflecting a quiet determination. Each step is a testament to the will to survive and adapt. The camera glides above endless grasslands where the wind stirs waves of green. Here the pulse of life beats strong, undiminished by adversity. As dawn returns, silhouettes of wildlife cross the horizon. The Serengeti endures, its story written in every sunrise, every migration, every heartbeat of the wild. It stands as a living testament to nature's resilience, forever inspiring hope for the future. Gap 2s. As twilight deepens, the Serengeti's surface quiets, but beneath the hush, countless stories unfold, silent, unseen, and seldom told. The camera drifts low over a patchwork of cracked earth, where ancient footprints are pressed into sun-baked mud. The faded imprints of a passing herd, the delicate tracks of a serval, the winding trail of a snake weaving between stones. Each mark is a fleeting record, a signature left behind in the dust, soon to be erased by the next gust of wind or the first drops of rain. In hidden burrows beneath the shelter of termite mounds, colonies of naked mole rats stir in the darkness. Their labyrinthine tunnels, carved over generations, serve as both fortress and larder, safeguarding them from drought, predators, and the relentless heat above. The camera follows their journey through these subterranean highways, tiny blind architects engineering survival in the most unlikely of places. Above ground, a congregation of oxpeckers gather atop a dozing buffalo, their beaks busily plucking ticks and parasites from coarse fur. This ancient pact, one creature's nuisance is another's feast, plays out quietly, a vital exchange that sustains both bird and beast. The buffalo's skin twitches, a silent acknowledgement of the oxpecker's tireless work. In the shadow of a withered acacia, a leopard cub practices its first tentative climb, claws scraping bark as it learns the secrets of stealth and balance. Each slip and scramble is a lesson, each leap a rehearsal for the silent hunts that await in moonlit nights. Nearby, a scorpion scuttles across the sand, its tail raised, tracing a path beneath starlight, hunting insects drawn to the warmth lingering in the soil. The lens lingers on a cluster of dung beetles, rolling their prize across the plain. Their tireless labour recycles nutrients, breathing new life into the earth. Without them, the plains would drown in decay. With them, the cycle of renewal continues, unnoticed but essential. High in the branches, a Verreaux's eagle owl blinks in the gathering dusk, its eyes reflecting the last traces of daylight. A faint rustle below signals opportunity. In a silent swoop, it descends, nature's nocturnal drama captured in a flash of feathers and a whisper of wind. As the breeze stirs the tall grass, the camera captures a moment of pure stillness, a chameleon perched on a reed, skin shifting in colour to match the fading light. Its eyes rotate independently, scanning for both prey and predator, a master of patience and disguise. Each of these lives, from the smallest insect to the most elusive predator, weaves a thread into the Serengeti's vast tapestry. Their triumphs and struggles remain largely invisible, yet each one shapes the destiny of the plains. The dust may settle, tracks may vanish, but the echoes of these untold stories linger, testaments to the quiet resilience and intricate beauty that define the Serengeti. As the night deepens and stars ignite the sky, the land rests, holding its secrets close. In every shadow, in every whisper of wind, the Serengeti's hidden stories endure, waiting to be discovered by those who listen closely to the echoes in the dust. Beneath the sprawling acacia canopy, an entire universe thrives in miniature, a world invisible to the passing herds and soaring raptors. The camera glides down, its lens narrowing to a single dew-laden web strung between blades of grass. As the morning sun crests the horizon, each droplet refracts the light, transforming the web into a jeweled net. Within its silken threads, a tiny orb-weaver spider waits, motionless, attuned to the faintest vibrations, a sentinel in a realm measured in millimeters. The focus shifts to the tangled roots at the base of a fig tree, where a colony of driver ants surges forth in coordinated waves. Their path is a living river, thousands of bodies moving as one, undeterred by obstacles, dismantling the remains of a fallen caterpillar in moments. Above, the camera peers into the shadowed hollows of the bark, revealing a hidden enclave of tree frogs. Their emerald bodies press flat against the cool, damp wood, skin glistening as they inhale the morning's moisture. They remain still, trusting camouflage and silence to shield them from the keen eyes of passing hornbills. Zooming in further, the lens discovers a patch of lichen clinging to a sun-bleached rock. Here, a battalion of springtails, minuscule jumping insects, feed on decaying matter, their movements almost imperceptible. Each leap, though measured in millimeters, is a feat of engineering, propelling them away from danger in the blink of an eye. Their silent work decomposes organic fragments, returning life-giving nutrients to the soil, fueling the grasslands above. From the safety of a thorny bush, a pair of pygmy geckos emerge to hunt. Their scales shimmer with iridescent patterns, blending seamlessly with the dappled light. They stalk ants and termites with calculated precision, every movement measured, every pause purposeful. Overhead, a parasitic wasp hovers, seeking the telltale signs of beetle larvae hidden beneath bark. With surgical accuracy, it deposits its eggs, ensuring the next generation will thrive unseen within the tree's protective embrace. As the day wanes, the camera lingers on a patch of moss nestled in a shaded crevice. Water droplets bead on its surface, sustaining a microcosm of tardigrades, creatures so small they are all but invisible to the naked eye. These water bears endure the harshest droughts and fiercest rains, outlasting nearly every other inhabitant of the plains. Their resilience is unmatched, a testament to the silent strength woven into every strand of the Serengeti's fabric. In every nook and cranny, beneath every stone and within every leaf, the Serengeti's microhabitats pulse with life. These unsung realms, intricate and essential, sustain the giants above and maintain the balance of the plains. As the camera pulls back, the vastness of the Serengeti is rendered anew. Not just a stage for the great migrations, but a mosaic of hidden worlds, each whispering its own story beneath the sheltering canopy. Beneath the sun-baked plains, an unseen world pulses with silent intensity. The camera descends past the tangled roots of ancient acacia trees, revealing a labyrinth of tunnels carved by tireless burrowers. In the soft ochre earth, a naked mole rat colony hums with activity. Their pink, wrinkled bodies snake through winding passageways, teeth chipping away at compacted soil. Each member follows an unspoken rhythm. Workers excavate new chambers, while a lone queen reclines in a nest of dried grass, attended by loyal sentinels. Elsewhere, a pocket gopher emerges from its narrow den, shoving loose dirt to the surface in rhythmic bursts. Its clawed paws and powerful jaws make swift work of the subterranean world, leaving behind a network of feeding tunnels that aerate the soil and channel rainwater to thirsty roots above. The lens shifts to a cluster of termites deep within their fortress mound. Inside, worker termites tend to fragile fungal gardens, cultivating the life-giving crop that sustains the colony. Soldier termites, armoured and vigilant, patrol the corridors, ready to repel invading ants. The intricate architecture of the mound, riddled with vents and shafts, manages temperature and moisture with remarkable precision, a masterpiece of collective engineering. In a damp chamber, a blind, earth-dwelling caecilian, its body smooth and segmented, glides through the mud, foraging for worms and insect larvae. Its sensory tentacles probe the darkness, deciphering faint vibrations that betray hidden prey. Nearby, a cluster of dung beetle larvae wriggle within nutrient-rich brood balls, their transformation powered by the recycled remains of the savannah's giants. As the camera glides through narrow crevices, it captures the glimmer of a golden thread centipede slithering in pursuit of a burrowing cricket. Each segment undulates in coordinated waves, legs probing, jaws poised for the decisive strike. The predator's movement is swift, its presence fleeting, a ghost in the perpetual twilight beneath the grasslands. With nightfall above, the temperature drops, and the underground world stirs anew. A colony of harvester ants emerges from their hidden city, fanning out in disciplined lines to collect seeds scattered by the wind. Their return is marked by an orderly procession, each ant clutching a single grain, ensuring the survival of the nest through leaner times. In these hidden chambers and winding passageways, the Serengeti's underground dwellers shape the plains from below. Their ceaseless labour aerates the earth, recycles nutrients, and sustains the roots that anchor every blade of grass. Though rarely seen, their influence is profound, a living heartbeat beneath the surface, echoing through the cycles of life above. As the camera ascends, the earth closes gently behind, leaving only faint traces on the surface, a testament to the intricate, indispensable world that thrives just out of sight, beneath the Serengeti's timeless expanse. Above the endless sea of tawny grass, the Serengeti's sky comes alive with a flurry of wings. As dawn's first light spills across the horizon, a flock of red-billed queleas erupts from the acacia thickets, their synchronized flight rippling like a living cloud. Each bird, no larger than a sparrow, moves in perfect harmony, weaving intricate aerial patterns that dazzle the eye and confound would-be predators. The camera follows their collective dance, feathers catching the golden sun as thousands move as one, a breathtaking display of unity and instinct. Elsewhere, a pair of crowned cranes glides gracefully over a mirrored wetland, their elongated legs trailing in the wind. They land amidst a mosaic of lilies and reeds, where vibrant plumage and stately crests stand out against the green. With deliberate steps, they forage for insects and seeds, their calls resonating across the water, a duet echoing the ancient rhythms of the plains. High overhead, the mighty African fish-eagle soars on broad wings, its piercing cry slicing through the morning stillness. From its vantage atop a bare branch, the eagle surveys the waterways below. With a sudden, decisive plunge, it snatches an unsuspecting tilapia from the river's surface, talons slicing the water in a spray of droplets. The catch is swift, efficient, a testament to the hunter's mastery of air and prey. In the shadow of a lone baobab, A colony of sociable weavers constructs a sprawling nest, a communal fortress woven from brittle grasses and twigs. The structure, suspended from sturdy branches, houses dozens of families, each with its own private chamber. Inside, the birds chatter and preen, repairing walls and tending chicks. The nest's thick roof shields them from the midday heat and predators alike, an extraordinary feat of avian engineering. On the open plains, a secretary bird strides with purposeful elegance, its long legs stepping over tufts of grass. With a sudden burst of speed, it delivers a powerful kick to a hidden snake, neutralizing the threat with precision before swallowing its prize whole. The bird's sharp eyes scan the ground for movement, its every motion a study in patience and poise. As dusk descends, the sky transforms again. Swarms of bats emerge from rocky crevices, slicing through the twilight in pursuit of insects. Nightjars glide silently on outstretched wings, their mottled plumage rendering them nearly invisible against the fading light. Each species claims its niche in the vast aerial tapestry, contributing to the Serengeti's delicate balance. From the smallest finch to the regal vulture riding thermal currents, the Serengeti's birds shape the ecosystem in myriad ways. They pollinate flowers, disperse seeds and control swarms of insects, averting plagues before they begin. Every wing beat, every call, every nest woven in the branches or grass is a thread in the intricate web of life. As the camera pans upward, the last rays of sun ignite the clouds in hues of fire and rose, silhouetting flocks in flight. In this moment, the Serengeti sky is not just a backdrop, but an ever-changing stage, where each bird, from predator to pollinator, plays its vital part in the symphony above the plains. Beneath the Serengeti's sweeping grasslands and bustling animal life lies a hidden world, invisible to the naked eye, yet fundamental to the survival of the plains. Here, billions of microscopic organisms, bacteria, fungi and archaea, work tirelessly in the soil, orchestrating processes that sustain the ecosystem from the ground up. As the camera dives below the surface, the intricate network of fungal mycelium comes into focus, its white filaments weaving silently among roots and grains of earth. These underground threads connect plants across vast distances, facilitating the silent exchange of nutrients and water. In this secretive realm, grasses and acacias communicate, sharing chemical messages and bolstering each other's defences against drought and disease. Elsewhere, colonies of nitrogen-fixing bacteria cluster around the roots of legumes, transforming inert atmospheric nitrogen into forms plants can absorb. This unseen alchemy enriches the soil, fueling the explosive growth of new shoots after the rains. Each microscopic exchange sets the stage for the Serengeti's iconic herbivores, wildebeest, gazelles and zebras, to graze on lush, nutritious grasses. On decomposing leaves and fallen branches, saprophytic fungi break down tough plant fibres, releasing a cascade of nutrients back into the earth. Their tireless work ensures that nothing is wasted. Every fragment of organic matter is recycled, supporting a continuous cycle of renewal. Close-up visuals reveal the steady advance of mould across a discarded seed pod, spores unfurling in the humid air. Even the dung of elephants and buffalo becomes a microcosm of life. Specialized bacteria and protozoa feast within these nutrient-rich deposits, accelerating their decay and returning vital minerals to the ground. Dung beetles join the fray, rolling and burying the remains, further aerating the soil and enhancing its fertility. In the stillness of night, bioluminescent fungi cast an eerie glow beneath rotting logs, illuminating the relentless activity of decomposers. The camera lingers on a single glowing mushroom, its faint light a beacon to nocturnal insects and a reminder of the ceaseless energy pulsing through the soil. Though unseen by most, the Serengeti's microbial engineers are the silent architects of abundance. Their endless labour underpins every blade of grass, every animal's stride, and every breath of wind that sweeps the plains. As dawn breaks once more, the camera rises from the teeming earth to the vibrant world above, acknowledging the foundational role these microscopic marvels play in the grand tapestry of life. In the Serengeti, even the smallest life forms leave an indelible mark, quietly shaping the destiny of an entire ecosystem, one invisible act at a time. Amid the vastness of the Serengeti's golden plains, where herds thunder and acacias sway, another world quietly endures, one that clings to the surfaces of ancient rocks and the shaded sides of termite mounds. Here the camera glides low across pebbles dusted with green and grey, revealing the intricate mosaics created by lichens and mosses. These humble organisms, often overlooked in the grandeur of the savannah, are, in truth, pioneers of resilience and subtle transformation. Rainfall awakens the mosses, their emerald tufts swelling with moisture, unfurling delicate leaves to capture precious droplets. The camera lingers on a single bead of water, magnified as it rolls from moss to stone, nourishing a microcosm of life. Each moss colony forms a miniature sponge, slowing runoff and anchoring loose soil against the erosive force of seasonal storms. Their quiet persistence stabilizes the ground, providing a foothold for seedlings in the harshest exposures. On sun-baked rocks, lichens paint intricate patterns, splashes of ochre, charcoal, and pale blue. Neither plant nor fungus alone, these symbiotic unions of algae and fungi thrive where little else can. In close-up, the camera reveals their slow conquest of stone, as fungal filaments etch microscopic fissures, gradually breaking down minerals and releasing nutrients. Over decades, even centuries, this patient weathering creates pockets of fertile dust, tiny cradles for the next wave of plant life. The camera transitions to the base of a baobab, where mosses and lichens form a living tapestry, sheltering moisture and providing refuge for minuscule invertebrates. Ants scuttle beneath the moss, while a solitary springtail pauses atop a lichen's crust, a testament to the shelter these organisms provide amid the arid landscape. As the sun sets, the camera captures the subtle shift in colour, the lichens intensifying their hues in the cool twilight, their metabolic rhythms attuned to the Serengeti's cycles of heat and moisture. In the stillness, mosses trap the evening dew, supporting a quiet network of life as night falls. Though silent and slow, the work of lichens and mosses is unceasing. They are the Serengeti's living stones, forging soil, conserving water, and weaving the first threads of new habitats. Without their steadfast presence, the foundation upon which grasses and giants stand would falter. In this final hidden layer, the Serengeti's story of survival continues, written not in speed or spectacle, but in the patient artistry of the smallest pioneers.